Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lidya Febriani. Okay, I would like to explain about the next material. It is about understanding of SLA. Okay, for the first time, you have to understand about the basic concept or the definition of SLA or second language acquisition itself. So, second language acquisition is divided into the word second language and acquisition, where second language refers to any language that we have learned after one's first language, and no matter how many others have been learned. Meanwhile, for acquisition is the process of acquiring language, especially non-native language. Okay, so we can summarize that second language acquisition is the formal study of learning process and teaching practice that is related to the acquisition of non-native language. Or you can define second language acquisition as the process of acquiring non-native language that is spoken by the community where the learner is living. For example, when the native speaker of Japanese comes to US from learn English. Actually, second language acquisition is a relatively young field. You know why? Because it is more younger than well-established disciplines such as psychology or sociology. Next, in SLA, of course, it has several goals, and the goals of SLA not just to study the second language, but how later learn language figure in making a person be or multilingual. It means that the person has more than one language. And then the strongly goal in second language acquisition is to provide guidance about how second language can be more effectively taught. This is the goal that more motivates much of the early research in SLA. And the hope of second language acquisition would help to identify ways of teaching that were compatible with how learners learn. And the last is the boundaries of second language acquisition. There are three boundaries in second language acquisition. The first one is acquisition as emergence, and the second one is acquisition as increased control, and the last one is acquisition as progress along an acquisitional sequence. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I'm sorry for my mistake. Thank you for your attention, and for the next topic, for the next point will be explained by Sisra Yolanda. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is Sisra Yolanda, with student number 2319090. Okay, I want to continue. Next material is about what do we know about second language acquisition. Number one, second language acquisition is complex. Our theorists acknowledge the complexity of second language acquisition. It is complex because a multitude of factors influence how a second language develops. Individual different factors such as language attitude and motivation. Number two, second language system is variable. At any stage of development, learners deploy a variety of forms for realizing a particular grammatical structure. For instance, a learner might have begun the practice negative utterance containing an auxiliary. For example, Maria is not coming today, but the same time continues to use the earlier acquired no place verb contraction as in Maria not coming today. Next point is about with the situational or linguistic context. The effects of the first language are pervasive. The learners, the first language influence all aspects of second language acquisition, phonology, lexics, grammar, and pragmatics. It is also evident in all stages of second language development. Transfer, both negative and positive transfer, is linguistic, semantic, and conceptual in nature. Number four, the learner's starting age plays an important role. The research demonstrates Conclusively, the starting early results in high level of a second language proficiency. The crucial issue, however, is whether learning needs to start before a certain age for learners to achieve native-like ability. According to the critical period hypothesis, native levels of ability are only possible if learning commences within a critical period. Number five, social interaction plays a crucial role in psychological acquisition. Aulich argued that interaction is the fundamental fact of classroom pedagogy because everything that happens in the classroom happens through a process of live person-to-person interaction. Number six, second language acquisition is a cognitive phenomenon. The interaction approach is founded on a cognitivist view of language acquisition. It is a premise on what Block 2003 called the input-output model. That is, the input made available through interaction and the output that it triggers activate the internal cognitive process involved in acquisition. And the last, second language acquisition is also a social phenomenon. Concern for the social factors that influence second language development, especially the rates of learning and ultimate achievement, was evident from an early period in SLA, as, for example, in Suchman claim about the influence of the social distance between the learners and the target language. Community interaction helps acquisition is distinguished as two broad types of interaction. Okay, and continue the last material is about applying SLA. The origin of SLA lay in a wish to improve language pedagogy. Just about all the early figures in SLA were at one time teacher or language teacher educator. Research in SLA has continued to be driven by the some motivation, leading to discuss about how SLA can best serve the needs of language pedagogy. Number one, basic pedagogical proposal on the finding of SLA. A more promising approach, perhaps, is to base advice on the theory of second language acquisition that has been tried and tested through research. This is the approach Grayson adopted. His theory, the input hypothesis, has had and considerable influence of language pedagogy. Number two, practitioner research and SLA. Practitioner research provides an excellent way of making the link between SLA and teaching. However, it is time-consuming and probably not something the most teachers are likely to undertake regularly. One way they might appeal to teachers is small-scale investigation of particular interaction activities. And the last point is about exploring language pedagogy through SLA. They examine a number of popular teaching ways once they figure frequently in teacher education programs of various kinds and extract from them a number of key pedagogy topics such as how to teach grammar and vocabulary, the importance of authenticity in teaching material, error correction, and the use of the student the first language in the classroom. Okay, that's all for me and my group. Thank you very much for watching and sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.